Every generation of the NFL gives us players who are more than just stars.
Here they come again. Oh my goodness, this is J.J. Watt.
They become symbols. They become the names you whisper when talking about greatness. For quarterbacks, it's Tom Brady.
Brady, pump. Brady rifles to the corner. Oh, it's caught.
For receivers, Jerry Rice.
Rice, he's open. No flags are down. Touchdown.
For defenders in the modern era, two names rise above the rest. J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald.
Renton on the play. Look out, and finally.
Both were drafted into franchises that needed saving. Both were doubted in different ways. And both went on to redefine what it meant to dominate on defense. This is the story of two legends and the impossible question. Whose career would you rather have?
Allen under pressure. He has the football. Looked like he wanted to get rid of it.
The story begins on draft night in 2011. The Houston Texans were stuck. They'd never won a playoff game. Peyton Manning and the Colts had dominated the division for years. Their defense was among the league's worst, finishing 30th in points allowed in 2010. They desperately needed a new identity. With the 11th pick, they called J.J. Watt's name. The reaction? Boos! At the Texans' official draft party, fans were furious. They wanted flashy names like Nick Fairley or Prince Amukamara. Instead, they got a defensive end from Wisconsin who to many looked like a safe pick. But Watt's journey to that moment wasn't safe at all. Out of high school, Watt had been a tight end with one offer from Central Michigan. After 1 year, he made a radical choice. He gave up his scholarship and walked away. He wanted to be a defensive lineman, so he bet on himself as a walk-on at Wisconsin. To pay for tuition, he worked at Pizza Hut delivering pie. His parents thought he was crazy. His friends thought he was throwing away a sure future. But Watt believed, and in just 2 years, he transformed into an All-American. Fast forward to draft night, and the Texans had just taken a gamble on a kid who once gambled on himself.
2011 NFL Draft. The Houston Texans select J.J. Watt, defensive end, Wisconsin.
3 years later, the Rams were on the clock at pick 13 in the 2014 NFL Draft. Jeff Fisher's Rams were a team in search of an identity. They needed a cornerstone. Sitting there was Aaron Donald, a defensive tackle out of Pitt who won every major defensive award in college.
Mitchum running for his life. Aaron Donald said.
The Outland, Nagurski, Lombardi, and Bednarik. And yet, doubts lingered. At 6'1" and 285 pounds, Donald didn't fit the prototype. Scouts said he was too short, too light, and that he'd get buried by NFL offensive line. Then came the Combine. Donald ran a 4.68 40-yard dash at 285 pounds. That was faster than some linebackers. He benched 225 pounds 35 times. Out-muscling linemen 30 pounds heavier. His explosiveness in drills was jaw-dropping. Still, teams passed. 12 players went before him. The Rams didn't blink. They saw the dominance.
Aaron Donald, defensive tackle.
The relentlessness, the motor that never stopped. They pulled the trigger. 2 different draft nights, 2 players doubted for very different reasons. Both would spend their careers proving everyone wrong. Watt's rookie year in 2011 started quietly. He finished with 56 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 5.5 sacks. Then came the playoffs. Wild card game versus the Bengals. Rookie quarterback Andy Dalton dropped back for a quick pass. Watt read it, jumped, and snatched the ball out of the air. He rumbled into the end zone for a pick 6. The stadium shook. That play didn't just win a game, it announced to the NFL that J.J. Watt was different. Aaron Donald wasted no time. In 2014, as a rookie defensive tackle, he had 9 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles. He was unblockable in one-on-one matchups. His quickness off the snap stunned veterans. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year, a rare feat for a DT. From day one, he was special. Both rookies had arrived, and both had only just begun. From 2012 to 2015, J.J. Watt delivered one of the greatest 4-year stretches in NFL history. 2012, 20.5 sacks, 39 tackles for loss, still an NFL record, 16 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles. He was everywhere. He didn't just sack quarterbacks, he disrupted everything. Passes were swatted, runs were blown up, quarterbacks ran for their lives. He won Defensive Player of the Year nearly unanimously. 2014, perhaps the greatest defensive season of all time. Another 20.5 sacks, 29 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, 5 recoveries, 3 touchdowns as a receiver on offense, 1 pick six on defense.
Manuel intercepted by Watt, and the big fella lumbering inside the.
He became the first player in NFL history with 20-plus sacks and 3 offensive touchdowns in the same season. He finished second in MVP voting, a defensive player nearly stealing an award that quarterbacks almost always win. 2015, Watt was unstoppable again. 17.5 sacks, 29 tackles for loss, another DPOY. By age 26, Watt had 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, something only Lawrence Taylor had ever done. At his peak, Watt wasn't just dominant, he was redefining defensive end play. For Donald, the stretch was 2017 to 2020, when he became the most feared lineman in football. 2017, 11 sacks, 27 quarterback hits, 5 forced fumbles. His first DPOY. 2018, a season for the ages. 20.5 sacks as a defensive tackle, 25 tackles for loss, 41 QB hits, and 4 forced fumbles. He had a 4-sack game versus the 49ers, humiliating an entire offensive line. He was double-teamed on 70% of snaps and still led the league in sacks. 2020, 13.5 sacks, 27 QB hits. His third DPOY. Like Watt, Donald finished with 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. But what made him unique was where he did it, from the interior line. No one in NFL history had ever seen a defensive tackle dominate like that. Watt's defining moments were superhero plays. 2014 versus the Bills. Watt picks off E.J. Manuel for an 80-yard touchdown return, later adds a strip sack. 2015 versus the Jaguars. 1.5 sacks, 8 QB hits, terrorizing the quarterback all game. 2019 wildcard game versus the Bills. Coming off a torn pec, Watt sacks Josh Allen in a pivotal moment, swinging momentum. Donald's defining moments came when the games hung in the balance. 2017 versus the Seahawks. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Russell Wilson had no escape. 2022 Super Bowl. 4th and 1. Joe Burrow looking for Jamar Chase. Donald breaks through, grabs Burrow, and forces an incompletion.
Burrow trying to keep it going, gets spun down, gets it away, and incomplete.
The Rams win the Super Bowl. 1 play, 1 man, 1 legacy. For Watt, adversity came through injury. 2016, he had back surgery and played in only 3 games. 2017, a broken leg, playing in only 5 games. 2019, torn pec and thought to be out for the season, but returned for the playoffs. Despite constant setbacks, Watt kept coming back. He finished his career with 114.5 sacks, 27 forced fumbles, and 3 DPOYs. But his greatest impact may have been off the field. In 2017, after Hurricane Harvey devastated Houston, Watt launched a fundraiser with a goal of $200,000. It raised $37 million, one of the largest athlete-led relief efforts ever. He wasn't just a star, he was a hero to his city. For Donald, adversity was different. His entire career was about proving size didn't matter. Every snap he was double-teamed. Every game he was the focus of the offense. And yet he kept winning. He trained with legendary intensity, famous for using knives-in-hand fighting drills. After his Super Bowl win, he even considered retirement. He had nothing left to prove. Watt left the game as one of the greatest defensive ends ever. 5 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros, 3 DPOYs, a leader, a humanitarian, and a player whose peak dominance was unmatched. Donald left the game as perhaps the greatest defensive tackle in NFL history. 9 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 3 DPOYs, and a Super Bowl ring. He finished with 111 sacks, the most ever by a defensive tackle. Both men are Hall of Fame locks. Both changed the way we see defense. So we ask, whose career would you rather have? You take J.J. Watt, the franchise icon, the humanitarian, the man who carried a team and community with a peak so dominant it rivaled Lawrence Taylor's? Or Aaron Donald, an unblockable force, the most disruptive defensive tackle ever, the man who ended a Super Bowl on 1 final play? 2 careers, 2 legends, 1 impossible choice. If you enjoyed this story, stick with Primetime, subscribe, and check out some more content.